Hi, I'm Pat. What they're asking us to do is to simplify the expression. You can see that what's going on here are some exponents and properties of exponents. So I'm going to try to simplify this and use those properties of exponents. And the first thing that I catch here is that I do have something to the 0 power. So might be a good place to start is whenever you have something to the 0 power, you know that that just simplifies to 1. So let's keep everything else the same, 6 y squared, and even the parentheses. The 2 on the inside, I'm pausing a little bit here because you have to pay attention to the exponent of 0. It's only attached to the y, okay? This 2 does not have that exponent of 0. So the 2 is still there, and it's the y to the 0 power, which I'm simplifying and replacing with just a 1. When I see something raised to the 0 power, it gets replaced with a 1, but only the thing that has that 0 exponent, okay? All right, then close the parentheses, that's still there, and the 2 up as an exponent is still there, okay? All right, and now in this case, I'll keep the 6, I'll keep the y squared, but in this case, 2 times 1, I will definitely simplify that and just get a 2, and then I still have that exponent of 2 outside of that. All right, and now I'll go ahead and evaluate that. The 6 is still there, the y is still there, squared. But this 2, I said I was going to evaluate it, but maybe I'll even write one more step. That 2 that's inside the parentheses gets this exponent of 2, right? 2 squared. Okay, now I'll evaluate it. 6y squared times 4. And then, of course, the 6 and the 4, we should multiply those together and get 24y squared. Okay, now, that's a good answer here, and I'd like to be done, but I'm going to try to point out a couple things that I hope might even help you with some of the other problems. For instance, even this 2 that was squared, and I took another step and wrote it as 2 squared, in a different problem. If you have more going on the inside of the parentheses than just a 2, remember that with our properties of exponents, everything on the inside of the parentheses that's a factor gets that same exponent. Okay, so I only had one thing, one factor, that 2. And notice how that factor got the exponent of 2. But if I had 3 different things being multiplied, this is important, if they're factors, those 3, each of those 3 factors would get the exponent of 2. Okay, and be careful of that. So, in fact, let me back you way up to the beginning even. We got, I don't want to say lucky, but in this problem, it simplified right away because the y was to the 0 power, and so it simplified to 1. But if I did not have that 0 power, and notice this, I'd have 2 as a factor, and then y may be raised to some other power as a factor, so each of those would get this exponent of 2. And what a lot of people will end up missing is that the constant factors like this 2 do get that exponent, okay? Each factor inside the parentheses, okay? I hope that helps. Make sure you practice more on your own, though.